Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something of a hot topic. That is, will the 2020 Subaru WRX, or the redesign, whether it's going to come out in 2020 or 2021, will that redesign have a hatchback or a wagon? Before we get started with the video, if you want to see more WRX content or more automotive content, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that little notification bell. The new redesign of the Subaru WRX and the Subaru WRX STI have been a huge topic in automotive news recently, and just over the past year and a half, just because of things like the Civic Type R, the Focus RS, and everything its competition is doing. Yes, we saw the Evo go gone, it's not coming back. Yeah, that's a great thing for some people. I think it's a loss of a great car. But a lot of us worry that Subaru is going to tone down WRX because it doesn't have that head-to-head battle with the Evo anymore. And we worry that these other cars like the Focus RS and stuff like that are going to really take over this category. And I think there's a lot of news kind of questioning what's going on. And I think Subaru did a really good job of, when they were releasing the concept cars, at least creating press behind the car by releasing such crazy concepts. And they've always done that. They've always released absolutely wild concepts, and it's usually a lot tamer than it actually is. But they did two things. They released one concept, which I'm going to talk about in another video, but they also released another concept, which was a wagon. Believe it or not, I was actually unaware that this even came out, and I consider myself pretty up to date with the news, and I don't know how I let that happen. But read a couple cool articles, saw a couple cool photos, and yeah, let me just show you guys. So, is Subaru going to come out with a wagon for their redesign? And I've got a couple words on that, and yeah, let me establish a little credibility. So who am I? I own a 2015 Subaru WRX. I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm an auto enthusiast, like the name of the channel. I love automotive culture. I love cars. I like going fast. I like the engineering behind it. And I have a huge basis in manufacturing, and that's where a lot of my information and predictions are really coming from. I like to look at trends of what Subaru is doing outside of the WRX specific platform to kind of inform what we might see in the WRX, because so many of their sales now are commanded outside of the WRX platform. What I mean by that basically is that their other cars are selling really well in today's market, and their CVT is super successful, and they're kind of like shaping everything off that. I have two trails of thought kind of with this release and this press, and one of them is that it's simply press. They want to kind of like talk up the car and get people thinking, and then when they redesign, people are going to pull the trigger. So yeah, obviously everybody knows what press and advertising is, so I think part of me is it's not going to happen. It's one of those wild dreams where maybe a Subaru team of engineers is actually working on it, but it's not going to get past the design phase because it doesn't make sense. So that's one kind of trail of thought. I'm a little skeptical because it would be easier for them to go back to a hatchback platform. Obviously, from that image, we saw that it was a wagon platform, so they would be redesigning the entire thing. And my other trail of thought here really is that if you look at the rest of their fleet, they seem to have really mastered the wagon. Not only have they mastered the wagon, but they make a lot of them. From a manufacturing standpoint, if you're already making something, it's not that hard to alter it a little bit and make more of it. Then you gotta ask yourself, is it really a Subaru WRX if you're taking an Outback chassis and kind of beefing it up? Or is that just gonna be an Outback that's a little bit more beefed up? And we look at things like the Forester and the Turbo Forester, and that's kind of like, it used to be that was literally a WRX engine in a Forester body. And basically what I'm trying to get at here is Subaru in the past has dropped the WRX engine into something else, and they've done things to other cars to change them, but they remain that platform, and it really seems to be like the chassis is what really defines that. So again, I'm right back kind of at that thought process of, does it really make sense that they're going to come out with a wagon? And I know that a lot of people loved the hot hatch, and there's just so much competition right now for that hatchback kind of genre, the Focus RS, the Golf R, the GTI. It doesn't really make sense for Subaru to try to get back into it. Like, having a sedan gives them a competitive advantage in that market. So let's step back here, right? We look at the Forester and we look at things like that, right? Subaru really can't, from a manufacturing standpoint, borrow one of those chassis without it just being an Outback or being a Forester. And if you look in the past, again, like I said, with like the Turbo Forester, the FXT, it's still a Forester. So I think Subaru's gonna do something like they typically do and go with a platform very similar to the FA20, the 2015 through 2019, maintain a sedan. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys watching the video right now are pretty disappointed, and you know, I am too. And I think like making this video helped me conclude that I really don't think there's going to be a wagon or a hatchback. I think it's going to be the sedan, and I think the sedan's been successful. And I mean, I own a sedan. Like I might pull the trigger on a hatchback if one were to come out. I don't think that's in the cards for Subaru right now. I think they need to build something, and I think they're gonna build something that stands out like this WRX. There are things there are aspects of this WRX that you can't get with other cars on the market right now, and I think they're just going to build that platform. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop what you guys think is gonna happen in the comment section below, and when you do that, what's your background? Why are you developing that thought process? If you're just an enthusiast, tell us. And I think that's going to help us kind of understand your comment, where you're coming from, and really further develop our opinions and what's going to happen. I hope that I could spark some thought into your day, and I hope that I could kind of get you thinking on what's going to happen, and maybe even start thinking about the manufacturing engineering behind the automotive industry and how it influences actual decision making, because manufacturing engineering and being efficient directly relates to money and cost. So just interesting stuff. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys have a great day.